but I'm very happy to indeed inform you with some variety of updates, especially now that the hurricane season formally started, of course, since June 1st. I'm therefore very happy that, together with my ministry, we were able to advance with some of the critical recovery and disaster preparedness initiatives. And the ministry, together with critical stakeholders, followed through, therefore, with what we discussed earlier in the year. And that was that we would indeed focus on planning in the first quarter, and that the second quarter, this quarter, would focus on activities such as workshops and conversations to enhance and activate our preparedness levels. I requested that that would happen, and indeed they followed through, and I'm extremely happy also that we had a very strong bond and strong partnership with UNICEF. And last week, therefore, May 28th to June 1st, the ministry started in collaboration with UNICEF and coordinated with the Department of Education, and they hosted and organized a series of master trainings on safety and emergency response for the sector that I represent. Conducted by UNICEF trainer Marcel Goyenesh, the first 3 days of the workshops focused on safety planning in schools, and the last 2 days of the workshops were geared towards the daycare centers and the sports and cultural organizations that are also part of my ministry. The main objective of this workshop was to ensure that not only schools, but also other key organizations tied to my ministry become more knowledgeable, more prepared, and better organized in handling disasters and risks that go beyond hurricanes. The sessions involved outlined steps to organize an emergency plan, the tools to identify hazards and sources, and development of a standard operating procedure. A number of the trainers are now conducting the second round of trainings for individual schools this week, and I hope to see and experience some of the hands-on sessions in the schools to improve our preparedness. I hereby express sincere appreciation to our partnership with UNICEF that started and intensified since post-Irma last year, and also of the staff and initiative of the staff of the Department of Education. I'm sure the Prime Minister is also happy to understand that this sector partners with the EUC in ensuring that indeed everybody does their share, including the continued participation of the teachers and entire school system. I'm also pleased to announce that the Division of Study Finance advanced and that I will go and sign off, I believe, the majority of all study financing recipient requests this week. In total, 176 persons submitted an application for study financing for this academic year 2018-2019. And in compared to 2017, there were 179. So where we expected an increase, that actually rather did not happen because it's a little less than 2017. Maybe that may be related to indeed the impact of Irma with some of the students that may have already left us and are therefore already advancing with their studies and their enrollment in tertiary education elsewhere. 17 applicants withdrew their applications, and as such, 159 applications were submitted to the Study Financing Committee for advice and further advice towards me as Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport. I must say it's not an easy task, an assignment that I have, to look at individual requests. Everybody may know, the members of the press may know, that it's based on a priority list. It was the same priority list that was officially approved by the previous minister, and there always will be pros and cons associated with the application of the priority list and the extent to which we are able to address indeed labor needs. And therefore, when you review some of the individual requests, you may wonder, is this a priority for St. Martin, yes or no? Should we indeed invest in this area, yes or no? It has been a very intense activity for me and my cabinet, and of course for the entire study financing division throughout the last couple of months. I do hope that the recently approved study finance ordinance that is on its way for debate and approval in Parliament will further assist this process and create transparency and assistance to a very critical process, and that is, of course, the enrollment of our students into tertiary education elsewhere in the region, and therefore the investment of our country in human capital. Some of the data that they made available for the applications are that 35% of the applicants were male, and 65% therefore were female. And that therefore says something about the outnumbering of the ratio of female to male with 2 to 1, which is an interesting development that will require further review, analysis, and understanding.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Tell them, connecting you.
I will just give a breakdown of the past years, because for those who didn't know, before it became Walichi Festival today, you could see the subtitle below as SXM Best Weekend. And SXM Best Weekend is a product that is a festival and that we create 3 years back with the support of the Tourist Bureau, and many other company. 2 years back, we created this event to carry more people to this island so they could spend. This is what the concept of Best Weekend. Everybody know that St. Martin before was the island that the French territories used to come to shop because they find it was cheap and get better price. We was like, it had Puerto Rico and St. Martin that everybody was coming to purchase the clothes, whatever. And this is what we're trying to get back again. To people come to this weekend for a festivity for 3 days, but at the same time, we should make the boutiques, the restaurants, the hotel, everyone benefit from that. The big artist is just an attraction to the island, but we bring in something plus. We will push those people, those visitors, to go to the supermarket, the restaurants, and everything to get the get whatever they want to get at this moment. This is why we call it the best weekend. It's the best weekend, so we should get an incentive, some kind of discount price with everyone at this moment. We could say 10% off in St. Martin in general. 2 years back, this event, we brought in close to exactly 1,400 people from Guadeloupe, Martinique, France, and some from Spain to come visit and also enjoy this festival. I want to thank one more time the Tourist Bureau because they believe on us. At this moment, they say they see the vision, and this is why today Calaboom team partner with Extra Tight to bring this vision bigger, because today Calaboom team and Extra Tight is the two both biggest event planners on the island. So we joined force to bring something bigger and something that could compete with the rest of the Caribbean. With this vision, we had, we could say, a pretty low budget at this moment, 183,000. With this, we get you to do something real good. We had Wycliffe Jean, Spice, Alison Hines. We decorate Kimsha Beach. The restaurants, the whole strip of Saint-Sambé had best weekend prices. Everyone from Soggy Dollar to we make sure everybody had best weekend prices. Then we create that, and it pretty worked well because the hotels was full, Saint-Sambé Resorts, even the small hotels as Calenson, I forget the name of the hotel. They also, Calenson? They also was full. We make sure do back a survey to make sure know that see where the people was going and if it was effective, and it did work. We get exactly from Guadeloupe and Martinique 1,400 people. One time, Air Caraïbe, the travel agency, Air Caraïbe with Ponchard, they partner up with us. They say they want to be official for the French territories because they see the benefit for them. And this year, we want to do the same with the other markets, as Mr. Wood said, Suriname, Curacao, and many more.
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles from within your reach.
Tell them, connecting you
will be having a meeting with Parliament to apprise Parliament of its work in terms of the recovery process on St. Martin, and as well as the SDGs, because that is something that the Economic Commission, that's the ECLAC, Economic Commission for Latin American and the Caribbean, that's what they look at. They have been assisting St. Martin already in the whole matter of recovery plans, and recovery data. So on Thursday, ECLAC is briefing the Parliament of St. Martin regarding its work, and also want to hear from Parliament how the Parliament looks at certain priorities on St. Martin. So that is just a side note there in terms of the discussions on the SDGs. Another matter of the IPCO was the issue of the elections and the voting right in the countries. And a presentation was made by the chairperson, the director actually, of the Electoral Council in The Hague. It is in this discussion that the issue of election observers came into play, and how the countries look at this matter of having observers from primarily within the kingdom come to observe elections in different countries. So that not became a discussion, but it was discussed in terms of its feasibility, how countries look at that matter. Also in the context of election and parliamentary systems was the fact that currently, on the basis of a decision in the first and second chamber, a state commission was established some months ago to look at the parliamentary system of the Netherlands in general. In the mandate to this commission, which is sometimes called the Remkes Commission, the two chambers looked at where they are today in terms of their parliamentary system. How current is it? The way that the electorate in the Netherlands look at the parliamentary system, matters like social media and its effect on how the electoral system works is also mentioned. That commission is supposed to bring out its report by the end of this year. And I note this to make mention of the fact, and which was mentioned in IPCO as well, that all islands are taking, I wouldn't say a step backwards, but taking a moment to look at their electoral system. Is it still current? Is it still meeting the needs of the populations? So in that respect too, we are looking forward to some of the conclusions, albeit that it will apply to the Netherlands, but some of the conclusions coming from that commission might be interesting for the countries of Curaçao, St. Martin, and Aruba. On the matter of integrity in government, this topic has been on the agenda of IPCO before, but actually what it entails is a report by the countries in terms of their progress on integrity in government. In the case of St. Martin, we made mention of where we are with the Integrity Chamber. You know, that too has a history behind it, but an update. We made mention of the fact that the Parliament has an integrity committee, an ad hoc integrity committee, and the fact that a proposal has been made to have an electoral reform committee of Parliament, which also ties into what I just mentioned with the state commission that the Netherlands established. So that's where the integrity in government, that's where that was at in the IPCO discussions. And then part of the IPCO consultation were two, as they are called, work visits that were made. It was on request of St. Martin, and the other countries in the Caribbean agreed to have a visit to one of the waste disposal plants in the Netherlands. And the AVR, as it is called, Afvalverwerking Rijnmond, was chosen by our Dutch counterparts as a place to visit. Very interesting plant in the Netherlands as well, and there are several of them. But this is one of the places where, for example, garbage from England is processed. And of course, also from different parts in the Netherlands, and a very modern and growing and developing plant. And it is from these type of institutions, in my opinion, that St. Martin can get information, should be able to look at getting expertise assistance. After all, it is an institution, it is a company in the Netherlands, within the kingdom. And as the saying goes, why would we look to reinvent the wheel if that is not necessary?
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Hi, what's up, St. Martin? My name is Rene Leverett, and I play baseball. And I have represented St. Martin in numerous international tournaments and professionally around the world. Sports matters to me because it reveals and develops character. So I challenge the business community to step up for sports and help us rebuild and repair our facilities. I also ask the community to nominate local businesses in your area to take the challenge and step up for sports. Because hashtag sports matters, hashtag are you in?
1,
2,
3,
4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness. 1 out of every 4.
4,
4.
4. But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness.
Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as one.
2, 3,
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
Having said that, no. My question to you as Minister of General Affairs, what is government's plans for the baby dump, or the small dump, little dump, whatever dump you want to call it? What are your plans for the small dump? It was meant to be for temporary purpose?
Thank you, Stephen Civilian, for that question. Your question is whether the small dump, the baby dump, was meant for a temporary purpose or for a permanent purpose. Is that your question? Temporary. Well, it was created as a temporary solution because, of course, we had Irma and we couldn't, the government at that time could not put more debris on the bigger dump, or some call it the mother dump. So it was a temporary solution. You asked about the plan. The plan that is in place or that's being worked out right now is about removing the debris from the smaller dump. And as we have indicated before, this will be part of the first tranche monies that will be allotted to us within short. And discussions are going on right now. I know that the experts were here and are speaking to the Minister of Romy as it relates to the next step in removing the debris from the so-called baby dump. But the idea is that, because remember, the land there is not government's land. That land belongs to, I believe, a soccer team. I can't remember their names, but I definitely know. No, it's a soccer team, soccer federation. That land belongs to the soccer federation, and they would definitely like to be able to access that land again to start back their tournaments and soccer tournaments. And therefore, I have received not information, but discussions with one of the representatives, and that is their goal. So we would like to see that as well, and I'm sure that the Minister of Education, Youth and Sports would like to promote all types of sports, especially soccer, because it's a growing field, a growing sport in the island, and they're doing great things within that field. So therefore, all efforts will be made to ensure that they get their land back.